step.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Totem channel. Today we are gonna tell you about our amazing trip to Copenhagen. We were there for 4 days and 3 nights from the 6th to 9th of February, and also it wasn't a budget trip, it was an unforgettable experience. In this video we are going to share with you our adventures and how each day went, so stay until the end. Well, it all started on Thursday, after finishing work, when we headed to the airport, to the Prague airport, to catch our flight to Copenhagen. Although the city is known to be quite expensive, the only thing relatively cheap was the flight. When we arrived, the first thing that struck us was how nice and friendly everyone was. And not only that, the general atmosphere was so positive. It seems like everyone in Copenhagen was quite happy. The city has a unique charm with its canals, clean streets, and relaxed people. Even though the prices are not friendly at all, the feel-good vibe is really special. As for transportation, everything was quite expensive, from public transportation, food and accommodation, and the only cheap thing was the flight that we took, very cheap, and we made the most of it. Once we arrived, we headed straight to our accommodation, which was located between the airport and the city center. We decided to do something different, and instead of taking the bus or the public transportation, we walked from the airport to the hotel. It was a long walk, about 45 minutes, but we were able to enjoy the scenery and start looking the local atmosphere. Once at the hotel, we checked in, settled in, and decided to go out and explore the city at night. We took the train into the center, and then we enjoyed the nighttime sights of Copenhagen. And the city was full of beautiful lights, really lovely atmosphere.
So now on to Friday. Our Friday was a really full day. We had, I think, almost everything already planned out before, so how we wanted to walk our tour. Our day started in front of the Forfædrelandskirke, or the Church of Our Savior in English. Sadly, we couldn't go in or up on the tower because it was raining the whole day, and that's why they closed the roof, because it was too dangerous, a risk of safety. But we didn't let that hinder us, so we continued walking into a famous neighborhood called Christiania. It was super beautiful there. It's full of art, especially street art. The houses are full of graffiti, and it's really amazing to walk through there. It was entry free, so we didn't have to pay anything to walk through there. But it was also really early in the morning. I think it was 9 or 10. So we walked through Christiania all the way to the front, and then we walked or made a circle to a bridge where we walked across and into Nyhavn. We already were there on the Thursday evening in the lights, or in the night with the lights on the boats, but now we had it also during the day, and it was funny to see. There were a lot of tourists there during the daytime, and we were of course one of them. We also took the famous Nyhavn pictures in front of the houses, the colorful houses. So after Nyhavn, we of course continued walking to another church, the Frederickskirke, or the Frederick's Church. We also couldn't go in there. It was also closed. Yeah, we both looked in the internet and it was supposed to be open, but I guess because it was a weekday, I don't know, but it was closed. So we just walked around it and then continued on to our next destination, Amalienborg. So it is a really famous castle in the heart of Copenhagen, and we were really lucky because we arrived there, I think 5 minutes before 12. So we arrived there and saw like 200 people standing in a half circle in front of the gates, and of course we stopped and stood with them. And then we witnessed the guards change. It was really cool to see. I only saw like something like this in London 2 years ago, so it was cool to see it again. And yeah, so we stood there I think 20 minutes, and then we continued into the direction of the Little Mermaid. But before we got there, we saw another church, and this one was really beautiful because its like outside wall is full of mosaic, and it was like kind of white grayish, so it shone really bright in the sunlight. Amazing pictures, I tell you. So this church is called the Saint Alban Church. After that we really finally arrived at the Little Mermaid. I think it's the most famous sightseeing spot in Copenhagen, I would say. Surprise, I have new hair now. Okay, we continue. So the Little Mermaid is the most famous sightseeing spot, and of course we also had to go there. And the Little Mermaid, really the name describes it pretty well, because the Little Mermaid is small. In the past I always thought that the Little Mermaid would be like life-sized, like as big as me, because the pictures make it always seem so tall, but it's not. It's really small, I think like this, 50 centimeters maybe, and on a rock. But it was really cool to see, although it was so cold there, so we didn't stay there for long. We walked back into the city center to the food market, because we were hungry at the time. I think it was maybe 1 or 2, and we were walking since 8, so we were hungry. And we went to a famous food market inside the heart of Copenhagen. It was 2 big glass halls, so all of the walls are made out of glass, and we ate some typical Danish dish there. In English it's often described as like an open sandwich. It's basically a piece of bread, and on top you have a lot of fillings. So I think I ate potatoes, and Livia ate the chicken salad and the fish cakes. It was really good, although it was a bit pricey. Yeah. So this specific food market is really famous because it sells good quality foods, of course, and also fresh products like cheese, fresh meat, seafood, but also wine and liquor. And it has over 60 stalls inside the 2 halls. And after we ate, we went a bit back on our tour and went to look at Rosenborg Castle. It's a really famous, or not also famous, but also beautiful building. It's inside a park. The park is called the King's Garden, and in the summer you can do like picnics there, meet with friends. It's really nice. It has like a lot of fountains. The paths are lined with trees, so it's a big recommendation from us. And after we looked at the castle, we went to the Round Tower. It's also a famous spot, and you have to pay to get in there, but it's famous because most of the tower doesn't have stairs to go up, so you're basically going up in a round the whole time. We also saw families with like their strollers and babies there, also a lot of Americans, surprisingly. And what we didn't know is that currently there is an exhibition about the universe going on in there. So we were really surprised, but also, of course, in a nice way, because they had like a lot of photographs of the night sky there, and these photographs were so vibrant in color. He didn't use a normal camera, but one that could also like catch ultraviolet light and infrared and other light waves that our eyes can't catch. So the pictures looked so nice, really. They had pictures of the Milky Way, the sun, the moon, other planets. It was nice, and after we went through this exhibition, we went to the top to have a view of the city. Yeah, and after the tower, we went maybe 20 meters further into a bookshop. And I'm really glad we did, because this bookshop had like a sale. So every book from a specific like place in the bookstore was 49 Danish crowns, so 7 euros or 175 Czech crowns. So a pretty good price for Copenhagen and books. So we took 2 or 4, I think. Yeah, and that was, I think, my highlight of the day, buying books. And after that, we of course went to get our dinner. It was like a fast takeaway place where we ate something small, and then we went back to the hotel because we were so tired. We walked that day, I think, 30,000 steps. That's around 20 kilometers. And for a city tour, that's, I would say, a lot.
So, Saturday was a more relaxed day compared to Friday, although it was still quite cold. At least we didn't get rain compared to Friday. We decided not to go so fast because we needed a little break from all the walking we do on Friday. So in the morning we went to a coffee shop for breakfast, and then we went to do something we really love, and it's shopping. It was a lot of fun to look at things, clothes, even though we didn't buy anything in the end. But afterwards, we walked around more of Copenhagen's charming street and just enjoyed the atmosphere. And then, in the afternoon, we decided to do some small shopping, like souvenirs, magnets, and like this, and then take a stroll through the center. It was more a relaxed day, not so rushed, but still full of fun. Finally, on Sunday was already our last day in Copenhagen. We had to get up very early for the return trip. So in the morning we bought some breakfast in Netto, the supermarket that we have near, said goodbye to our room, and we headed to the airport. Although the trip was short, the city left a great impression on us, and it's definitely a destination we really recommend you.
So this was a small recap of our short trip to Copenhagen. Although it was exhausting at times because of all the walking, we both really enjoyed it. And now we're already at the end of our video. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we will see each other next time. Bye!
Bye.